Well, welcome to the Startup Espresso. I'm Hall T. Martin, the host of the show, where we talk about raising funding for your startup and the time it takes to have an espresso. I hope you enjoy this episode. Hello, this is Hall T. Martin with the Startup Funding Espresso, your daily shot of startup funding and investing. Negotiating the valuation of a startup between the CEO and the investors is a major step in fundraising. An equity term sheet requires coming to agreement on the valuation, which determines how much ownership is given to the investor. Both startup and investor must now climb the valuation wall. Be prepared for the ensuing negotiation and the back and forth. It can be difficult to assign values when there is no product or revenue. One solution to this situation is to delay setting the valuation until you have the right investor and the right time. Switch to a convertible note, a debt instrument that converts to equity later. Because it's in debt form, there's no valuation. Later, when there's a team in place, a product built, and a revenue stream defined, it will be much easier to negotiate the valuation. Don't put the valuation negotiation on the first step, as it's a high wall to climb. Thank you for joining us for the Startup Funding Espresso, where we help startups and investors connect for funding. Let's go start up something today. Hall T. Martin is the director of Investor Connect, which is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to the education of investors for early-stage funding. All opinions expressed by Hall and podcast guests are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinion of Investor Connect. This podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon as a basis for investment decisions.